Good evening, everyone. As we approach Christmas, I find myself thinking about a lot of things, and it's not a very easy time for me. And something personal happened in my life, and I will only say it briefly because I have no right to talk about um, other people's loss. But suffice to say that a colleague of mine died suddenly, a person that I knew for more than 20 years. And it got me questioning my goals, the futility of living, the futility of existence itself, and my own purpose. But it also reinforced in me a sense that we have to discuss what is happening in our world, that we have to use this platform, the means that we have, to discuss and talk with each other and just stop living in a past like so many people are still living. The current administration, the United States, they're living in the past. They are hijacking oil tankers from Venezuela. China is defying them, sending their own oil tankers to collect oil from Venezuela, calling his bluff. And we really don't know what will happen. Also, we continue to see the United States supporting Russia in its aggression against Ukraine. We continue to see Palestinians dying in Palestine. Israel continues to kill them. There is no end in sight of the conflict. I see a lot of people that a lot of news agency that seldom report about it. First, they were all over the Bondi, what happened in the Bondi Beach. Now they are going to something else. In the United States, they are going on about the 1% of the Epstein files that was revealed, completely and heavily redacted, with old pictures of Epstein and other events introduced in the Epstein files. They even went so far as to put a picture of Bill Clinton with Michael Jackson and Diana Ross and two kids with their faces covered up, and called it a proof that he was in the Epstein files, when in fact it was a picture of Bill Clinton with Michael Jackson and with Diana Ross and the two kids of Diana Ross in an event, completely different, nothing to, a fundraiser, I believe. And so this is the type of politics in discussion. And more, me personally, I see this entire, I don't even know how to classify it, this stupid behavior of people that should be morally morally superior, or morally more at in contact, you understand, with ethics and with moral. And they have no ethics and they have no moral. I look at people in this hunger to buy things for Christmas, and each year that passes, it disgusts me even more. I have zero, yearning to buy something or to make some kind of Christmas spree. Yesterday, I went out with my family. In this case, I went out with my mom. We went to buy what we need for our meals. No, the typical Portuguese with our German mixed in the middle. We went to buy some pork to make a roast. We went to buy the cod, the cabbages, the greens, the potatoes, all of that we need for our Christmas Eve dinner. And I literally just bought gifts up until this moment. I only bought gifts to the kids in the family. Okay, I have not even bought any gifts to anyone, and I have asked, like I do every year. I ask everyone, don't buy me gifts. Okay, because I don't think it's. Look, call it Catholic guilt. Okay, call it whatever you want, but I don't think it's appropriate for me to binge on things that I don't need, things that are futile, while other people are going through so much trouble. And look, I have my troubles too, okay? Not rich, okay? But I'm trying to get by. Got to put my car in the garage again. I will probably need to buy a new car this year. I will have issues at work tomorrow. I know, naturally. But I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is the lack of morality and the lack of logic of people in this world. And I know I will hear a lot of voices saying, oh, the world has always been this way and this and that. But to me, that is a bad excuse. Because we need to correct our behavior. We need to remove these people, these parasites from our societies. We need to remove these people that are constantly feeding hatred in social media. We need to be indifferent to them. We need to respond to their hatred with indifference. We need to have strong law, strong ethics, and we also need to have a sense of logic. Because there is no logic in this, okay? There is absolutely no logic when we continue to pollute our world, when we continue to fight over our imaginary little friends, and I respect each and every one of you in your religion. Okay? But I don't think it's correct for us, because someone is a Muslim, or someone is a Christian, or someone is a Jew, someone is whatever they want it to be. I don't think it's correct people to be discussing that and turning that into a reason to hurt someone. I don't think it's appropriate to hurt someone because of their gender, because of their sexual orientation, if they are trans, if they are, I don't know, if they are purple, if they are pink, if they are black, if they are white, I don't give a fuck. That is simply not appropriate. That's not correct. It's stupid. Okay? It's wasting time. And I think that deep down, that is what really annoys me. It's the amount of time people waste worrying about things that make no sense while life passes them by. Okay, tomorrow you can drop down dead. tomorrow you can drop dead. And what will you leave to the world? And while we are doing this, we are discussing futilities. There shouldn't be any doubt that, for example, Ukraine is the country being attacked. They had their borders, they were in their side of the border, and a maniac decided to invade them. And then I'm going to get comments like, they were not fulfilling the Minsk agreements. They wanted to be in NATO. They wanted to be look, fuck off. I know the Minsk agreements. I was alive when they were discussing them. Okay? And when they were discussing them, I already spoke English. Okay? And German, and French, and Italian, and Castilian, and Portuguese, and even a bit of Russian. Okay? So, shut up. I know exactly what was written there. And what was written there was, to the basic level, Ukraine gives its warheads to Russia, and Russia doesn't invade and respects the sovereignty of Ukraine. Then, what happened? They start to spread dissent in the Donbass region. They take over Crimea, and now they completely invade Ukraine. They butcher more than 1 million Russian soldiers and mercenaries and whatever. They kill Ukrainian soldiers. They murder, because it's not killing, they murder their own civilians and Ukrainian civilians. All of this because of what? Because of one little man that is the representative of a group that still has some kind of pain in the ass because of the end of the USSR. That wasn't destroyed by anyone. It rotted to the core. Just like the United States is rotting right now. And have no doubts that is exactly what is happening. While other places change and evolve. Europe, it changes and evolves. South America, it changes and it evolves. China, it changes and evolves. Everyone else is evolving. And these two dinosaurs continue to destroy peace. And they continue to try to drag us down with them. And this is something that I call upon all Europeans. And I'm not just talking about the EU, okay? I'm talking about the United Kingdom too. We need to rise up out of this shit and do something for us, for Europe. Okay? No one wants to be divided again by the two idiots, one in America and one in Russia. No one wants that. We want peace. We want them to leave us the fuck alone. This is what Europe really wants. If you're an American and you are listening to me, this is what Europe wants. Fuck off. The same thing that we want from Russia. Fuck off. And if you don't like to listen to me swearing, well, I'm sorry. But I'm not here to talk with children. I'm here talking with adults. And adults should be able to listen and to use every single word that they know. And to use a swear word to make a point. They should go away. No, they should fuck off. Because fuck off means get the hell out of here. I don't want you here. I'm Look, I'm absolutely tired of listening to petty, little, infantile, selfish people talking about things they have no idea what they are talking about. I was just now in a stream, I won't say who, but it's a democratic based stream, and they were talking. And I'm not saying they were not saying a couple of things that were correct, but when it comes to Europe, they don't know what the fuck they are talking about. Really. They don't understand. They don't know how Europe works. They don't know how we function. They have no understanding of our political situation. They know nothing about what they are talking. They refer to us, the oligarchs in Europe. When we live in two completely different worlds. Because the oligarchs in Europe, they indeed have what they call the oligarchs, they indeed have influence. But we have laws. We have them on a leash. They cannot pump our food with shit. They cannot influence presidents and prime ministers to do their bidding like nice little dogs. We live in a completely different world. And then they were talking about the reaction of people. And again, they haven't got a clue. You want to know what they remind me? They remind me of those Americans that come to Europe and are clueless about things like, we don't dilute our drinks with ice. We are not constantly using air conditioning everywhere, at every time. Okay, we don't like big cars. We like to walk. We like to use our bicycles. We like to have things near us, near the place where we live. Okay, we live in completely different worlds, and they continue to think that we are the same, and we are not. Any European has more things in common with someone in South America, in Brazil or Argentina, than they have with any American. Any European has more in common with a Canadian than it has with anyone in America. And I will tell you this, any European has more in common with a Mexican than it has with any American. Americans live in a different world. They live in a different reality. They have no understanding of how the world works. Look, a small example. One of the biggest news that came out, I think around June this year, was this. Europe, the EU in this case, made an agreement that includes Turkey, that includes, I think, a couple of countries in the Caucasus region, the Central Asian countries, and China. And what is this agreement? The agreement is to build a railroad that is already, sorry, you know, I also speak German, and German was one of the languages that I speak, that I learned to speak. So when saying things like railroad, sometimes it's a bit hard for me, okay? So, English is not my first language, but they are building a railroad that will transport cargo between the EU and China in 40 days. Little over a month, but as it progresses, it will be under a month. This means that we will be able to trade with China and China to trade with us quicker than via sea. And this railroad will bypass Russia completely. Completely. It will not pass via Russia. All the countries in the path of this railroad signed the agreement and agreed. It's already being built. And I heard about this in European media. I heard it in Euronews. I heard it it was a small news, but I heard it in national Portuguese news too, in our state channel, the RTP1. And in the United States, nothing. They are completely oblivious. It was in the news right now, the agreements that Canada has been doing with the EU. But about this railroad, nothing. Okay? And even the UK has also an interest in this railroad. In the UK news, zero. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? I'm trying to tell you that the media that is created in the United States, they have no idea of how the rest of the world works. They are living in a fantasy world fueled by lies. They cannot. I don't think they are even. Sorry, my phone. I don't think they are even able to understand how much the world is changing without them. They are lagging behind. And to my British friends, I have to tell you this too. Your government and a lot of your citizens, with the exception perhaps of the Scots, look, I'm being honest, they have no idea of how distant the UK is already from the EU. In terms of technology, in terms of social development, in terms of economy. And I know I'm going to get in the comment sections the usual comments, greatest GDP. Our GDP is bigger than Germany. Our GDP is bigger than this. Our GDP is bigger than that. And I will tell you, okay, you have a lot of rich people that stick their money in your banks and that pay no taxes over it. So, yes. Argentina also has a lot of rich people. In Brazil, you have a high class of around 5 million people. These are numbers from a couple of years ago, so I might be wrong. Okay, but about 5 million people are more rich than anyone in the United Kingdom. Okay, I'm not talking about little. I'm talking about those types of people that don't need to do fuck all except collect. Then you have a middle high class of around, I think they told me it was around 20 million people. This in a universe of 190 million people. I think it's the population, the current population of Brazil. I think it increased a little. And you have around 20 or 30 million of people in what we would call middle class. And then below that, all the rest, all the 100 and many million, they are poor. Some dirt poor, others more or less poor. Do you think the people that are down below give a fuck about the GDP of the country? That is composed by the wealth of the wealthiest in their country, does that benefit them? Whenever someone brings out the GDP card, I know that they are ignorant, that they don't understand what they are talking about. Tell me the average pay. Tell me the average pay of the lower class. Tell me the price of housing. Tell me the price of fuel. Tell me the price of food. Tell me the price of energy. Tell me the level of poverty. Tell me the level of children being helped by UNICEF, like the United Kingdom right now has the UNICEF helping children inside of their country. Tell me all about that. And then discuss GDP with me again. Because you have, in the United States, it's the same. You have areas of the United States that are like a third world country. Go to Appalachia. Go to the poor black ghettos. I call them ghettos. Okay? Go to Flint, Michigan. Go to YouTube and write Flint, Michigan, and see their story. Go and take a look at Detroit. Go and take a look at the homeless situation in LA and in other places. It's spreading. Go and take a look at all that, and then talk with me again about GDP. This situation, my friends, and I'm sorry for giving such a bleak Christmas message, but I wanted to make this video, and I wanted to talk about these things because they are going to dictate what I'm going to talk about in the incoming videos. Because you need to talk about these things. You need to educate people. You need to spread the word around. Okay, I'm not being monetized. I'm not earning any money with this channel. If I want to make money with the channel, I have the other one that I have the contact of the email here in this channel, and that is the one in which I will invest my time doing videos about history, about politics, about philosophy. Okay, this is a platform for a crusade. Call it like this if you want. A crusade to try and wake up people. Because I'm tired of hearing people saying these things on social media, okay, making these comments, and they don't seem to understand the reality of the world we are living in. If we continue in this path, we are going to get extinct. Okay? We won't be the first or the last race or species, if you want to call it, to be more precise, that can go extinct. We can go extinct. Unless we embrace logic and humanity, we are going to go extinct. If we continue to put religion and put convictions and narratives over logic, we are going to be extinct. And I have no issues with religious people from the start, as long as they follow the logic. Okay, we are not living in a flat earth. We are not living in an illusion. Okay, we may context, even I do that to myself, the nature of existence itself. Maybe we are living in a simulation, I don't know. But if we are living in a simulation, this simulation has very strict laws on how things exist and how things are done and are created. We are living right now in a ball of dirt, okay, spinning around a ball of fire, and then that ball of fire and all the things that are spinning around it, it's spinning around the center of the galaxy in the void. And the void is not void. We have discovered lately. And to be denying that, to be denying the things that are certain in our world, it's a highway to destruction. Okay? I'm not, look, you want to believe in spirits, you want to believe in ghosts, you want to believe in those things, no issues. Okay? If you want to believe in those things, if those things give you solace, if those things give you comfort, I'm all for it. But what I don't want to listen to is the same thing that I listened today about book burnings in the United States. About artists that are making music that you may not like being banned. I have said this before, okay? I have listened to heavy metal, to black metal, to death metal, okay, since I was a toddler. I started with Venom when I was around, 6 years old. When I was a kid, I went through all that phase of the Norwegian black metal and all of that, okay? And I'm still here. But does this mean that I'm going to, burn a church or do some shit like that? No. I like the music. I like the art behind it. I like the lyrics. I like the concepts. Because it's art. It's no different. It's no different from the paintings in churches. It's no different from the stylized patterns in mosques. It's no different from the statues of the Buddha. It's art. It's a construction of the human mind. We construct things. And we find beauty in the weirdest things. But we need to get all of that and put it here and then deal with reality. And the reality is we live in a world that we need to preserve for us to survive. We need to learn to deal with each other in order to survive. We need to stop destroying the environment in the world in which we live in. And we are constantly doing this for greed. The engine that we use in our cars today, the combustion engine, it was obsolete from the beginning. Go to YouTube and see and just write this. No, I like to do this because I like people to think for themselves, okay? I don't like it when people just take for granted what someone is telling them. Go to YouTube and write something about electric engines, okay? Who invented the first electric engine car? The first electric engines for cars. And go see how long do we know about it. And think about this. Even if we were using oil, we could already have developed batteries to use in our cars with which would be refilled with energy produced by oil. And yet we choose to refine oil and put it in a gas tank so that our cars move around and pollute the environment. Think about that. Think about the irony of all this. It's completely ridiculous, okay? And I'm always finding it very hard for people to deny reality. No? Do you have any idea of the lunatic comments that I got? Most of them I erased them. I let a couple of them stay because they, even if they were wrong, they were defending their opinions, and the people were not being impolite, so I let the comments sit. Okay, because I'm not look, I'm not some kind of judge and jury. I have no patience or no talent for it. But do you have any idea of the lunatic comments that I got that I get whenever I make my Brexit videos? Whenever I make my Brexit videos or talking about economics or whatever of Brexit and of the Trump regime and all of this, I get the most lunatic comments that you will ever see. And let me tell you this, I know, because let's just say, I know because I know, when I'm getting an AI bot and when I'm getting a person, that person can be anyone, but I know when it's a person, and more than half of those comments are made by people. Sometimes the same guy uses 4 different accounts to try and disturb the channels, trying and getting an emotional reaction from me. But right now you see me talking with you and I even appear emotional. But in real life, I'm not like this. Okay? I'm completely unemotional. It's one of my issues. Okay? I sometimes need to smooth my approach to people because I don't want to look like I'm being aggressive or whatever, because I'm not. I'm a peaceful person. But these people, they just completely deny reality. And I believe some of them are being paid for it. Okay, I understand that. You know, I also can recognize you. You know who I'm talking with. But there are a lot of people that are completely deranged, that keep repeating the same narratives like mantras, and repeating with that, I don't know, maybe with a fantasy that it will become the truth. Do you understand how lunatic that is? It's like if you were sitting in a ship that was sinking, okay, and you needed to swim to the shore, and then suddenly you would start saying to yourself, the boat isn't sinking, the boat isn't sinking, the boat isn't sinking. And when you finished saying that, you believe that the boat would not be sinking while you drowned. This is exactly the same way of thinking. This is why, and if you know me for some time right now, let me just pause to cough. Sorry about this, I'm back. But if you know me for some time right now, you will know that I always say this. I prefer to listen to harsh truths than to comfortable lies. I don't like lies. Lies, more than denying others, it's to deny yourself. Lies are a way that you find to deny your perception of reality. You don't accept reality as it is, and then you create the lie to comfort yourself, to shield yourself from the truth. But it's worthless. Okay? It's a coping mechanism that you need for some things. Okay, when you want to abstract yourself from events, from reality, to have a bit of solace in your mind so that you can gather your thoughts and you can understand that you need a bit of time between you and reality to accept it. But When that becomes a permanence, when you pile a lie, over a lie, over a lie, over a lie, it only gets worse. And here we are in our current world with the Trump regime, with their piracy, threatening the EU, threatening Europe, threatening the UK, threatening Canada, threatening everyone. We have Russia threatening everyone again, and no sense of logic. You know, if I'm going to be pragmatic, I have to tell you that I don't expect good news this year. I think the next year is going to be even more chaotic than the previous one, than this one that we are living. I hope that I'm wrong, but hope. Well, anyhow, I'm going to finish this message, and I'm going to, first of all, address everyone that is in America. I hope that you have a house, a place to live in. I hope that you have food. I hope that you have someone to love or someone to love you. I hope you have a job. I hope you have hope. And I wish you the best of luck. It's all that I can give you, my solidarity. I can't give you anything more. For all you folks in the UK, I want to tell you to not lose hope. Sooner or later, it might take a long time, I know, but sooner or later, the United Kingdom is going to drift into the EU again. If you follow logic and pragmatism like me, you will see that. But I will tell you this: don't believe in the lies of people like Farage. You have a couple of decent people in your country right now. Starmer, with all his crap, with all his incompetence and Labour, they are still a better option than the Tories and than Farage. You have Zach Polonsky, you have the Greens, even the Lib Dems, with all their past sins, I know. But anyone that preaches stability and closeness to your neighbors, that is the person in which you should vote. Because that person is thinking about you. Okay? That person is thinking about the country and about the future of the country. If you are voting reform, you are an idiot. If you think those bastards care about you, and this is from a guy like you, okay, that comes from down below, that has been working since he was 12. If you think those rich bastards care about you, you are an idiot. Those are the kind of guys, okay, like that millionaire Pena, or what is his name, that came out. All Shots has a video about that. You'll find the link to his channel down below. Okay, those guys are with that guy mocking you. Look at the poor people. Those guys are mocking to the ones that want to work. Okay, people like Tommy, many names, and all of those bastards, they live off your hate. And I'm not saying everything is perfect in your country. I'm not saying that immigration is bliss. Okay? I'm not saying that you seeing values that you think are essential to your society crumbling away is good. I'm not saying that. What I am telling you is that they are using that to control you. when you can control them back. You can tell them to fuck off. You are not getting my money. You are not getting my support. I'm going to vote in that guy that is promising me employment, that is promising me a better life, that is promising me to revert this Brexit shit and allow my country to be a bit more normal. This is how you have to think, okay? You have to be selfish. Each and every citizen in the United Kingdom has to be selfish. You have to be selfish when you tell your media controlled bullshit, your media that is completely controlled by foreign companies, which I find hilarious. You have to tell them to fuck off. Abstaining yourself from giving them fuel gives you strength. Say what you want. Say that you want a job. Say that you want a safer neighborhood. That is important. Say that you want your children to be safe. Okay? Kick out those idiots that are beating up women, that are abusing women and children. And you know you have a lot of guys in your ranks pretending to be Hail Britannia that are a bunch of fucking wife beaters. You don't need that shit. You don't need that, people. It's a weak man. A man that beats up a woman is a weakling. A man that finds satisfaction in attacking someone that is different from him, like a gay person or a trans person, that guy is a fucking loser. I'm not telling you to go all hug and kiss with gay or trans people. I'm not telling you that. They are telling you that I am saying that. I'm telling you to leave them alone. You don't want to hang around with them? Well, don't. In all of my life, okay, and I only have one gay friend. One. I see him every often. Okay, we have a beer, we talk about life. He's not out in parades, dancing around or doing any kind of those dumb stereotypes that people seem to believe in. They are people like you and me. You don't understand them, you don't like them, my friend, all right. But what you have to say to yourself is this: you respect me, I respect you. Simple as that. It's as simple as that. All of that hate that you have inside you, and we are in Christmas time, okay? All of that hate that you have inside you, it can go away just like that. Just you telling to yourself this simple sentence that my dad taught me. It's none of your business. Simple as that. If we all follow that, we would be much better. To all of you in Canada, don't worry. We won't let you go. We won't stop supporting Canada in Europe. And I'm talking about the United Kingdom too. So stay strong. Try to detach yourselves from the United States as much as you can, because it's going down the bin and you don't want to go with them. Try to keep yourselves calm and try to keep your society stable. And don't fall for their lies. All of you in Europe, whatever you do, even if defending your national interests, defend the EU. We need it. Okay, I am 50. I have seen the effects of the EU in my country. I saw it. And a lot of the things that they are telling you are fucking lies. Are Soviet, neo-Soviet narratives propagated by the idiots in the Kremlin, or American imperialism propagated by the idiots in Washington. We need to tell these two to fuck off. Okay? We have issues. We have differences. Okay? And we have a parliament to discuss them in. We have a bloody parliament where we can all get together and discuss our shit. And if we need it, and if we need to battle it up, we can battle it up in the parliament. Or do you want another World War One, another World War II? You want that? Or do you want to get together and discuss things? If something doesn't, in EU policies, if something you don't like, then you make your politicians discuss that shit in parliament. Because that is where things have to be discussed. That place is where we have to compromise things. And the EU makes us all stronger. Because it's not just one country speaking. It's all of us. United. And the union is strength. Remember that. All of you around the world, I will tell you the same thing. Don't let yourselves be fooled by any propaganda. Follow your heart. Follow the interests of your country. Defend your countries. Don't let yourselves be puppets of anyone. I wish I could give you a nice and cozy Christmas talk where we are all thinking about Edelweiss and little rainbows and unicorns, but the world is not that. Okay? The world is full of shit. We have people dying in Palestine. We have people dying in Ukraine. We have people dying in Sudan. We have people dying every fucking way. There are people dying in Africa. There are migrants drowning in the Mediterranean, being used as a political weapon of those that want to damage Europe, and those that are inside of Europe, and those that are in the Americas, and those that are in the US and the Russia. I call them USSR because that's what the fuck they are right now. Okay? Don't let yourselves be lulled into sleep. Again, quoting my dad, it comes Christmas and I remember my dad. Think for yourself. Don't be nobody's slave. You know, it's just like that quote in Conan, okay, by the writer Robert E. Howard, where Conan says to the other guy, and Conan tells him, I bow to no man or no God. I bow to no man or no God. And you, my friend, you are no God. This is how you have to think. I'm not telling you to be violent. I'm not telling you to hurt people. I'm telling you to have common sense. Because only with common sense can we build a better future for ourselves and for those that will come after us. Because if we continue this path of this lack of logic and common sense, we are going to die. We are all going to be destroyed. We are going to destroy ourselves. And that is a simple truth and a simple logic. And if you think long and hard about it, you will reach the exact same conclusion as I reached today. Well, again, this is my Christmas message. I might drop a couple of more videos before Christmas, okay? But I wanted to put this one out while my mind was still on it, okay? I wish you all a Merry Christmas, good holidays, whatever fancies your whatever, okay? I don't really care about it, okay? It's Christmas here, so I say Merry Christmas. And if you don't like it, well, that is your problem, okay? Not mine. Again, folks, stay safe. And I'll see you next one.